Have you ever walked past a mirror or glanced at an old photo and thought, wait, do I really look this young? You embrace confidence not as a mask, but as a mindset. It's not loud or boastful. It doesn't need to be. Real confidence is silent, steady, and unshakable. It doesn't walk into a room demanding attention. It walks in knowing its worth, and that alone makes people turn their heads. When you carry yourself with quiet strength, you radiate a presence that words can't define. It's not about how you look, what you wear, or how much you speak. It's about the energy that flows from someone who is unapologetically grounded in who they are. Confidence changes everything. It's the reason you look younger than your age. Not because it erases years, but because it softens your face with peace and replaces tension with ease. When you stop comparing yourself to others, when you stop chasing perfection and start embracing progress, your face relaxes, your smile widens, and your eyes sparkle. That kind of glow doesn't come from makeup, it comes from self-acceptance. You don't waste energy doubting your worth or overanalyzing every choice. That alone saves years on your face. Worry ages people. Constant insecurity tightens the jaw, furrows the brow, and stiffens the body. But you've learned to let go. You've learned that not every opinion deserves a reaction, and not every voice deserves space in your mind. That inner peace is visible. People see it before you even say a word. You carry yourself like someone who knows what they bring to the table, and that posture, both physical and emotional, has power. Confidence isn't about thinking you're better than others. It's about no longer needing to prove yourself to anyone. That freedom is rare, and rare things stay beautiful longer. You've stopped shrinking to fit into spaces not meant for you. You no longer need to be liked by everyone. You just need to be aligned with yourself. That's why you glow. That's why you walk lighter. When you aren't performing, when you're simply being, you conserve energy. That emotional conservation shows in your face, your skin, your energy. You don't carry bitterness or resentment in your expression. You've released that. You don't apologize for existing. You don't second. Guess your instincts. You speak when it matters. You're silent when it's wise, and you walk away when it's time. That kind of emotional intelligence doesn't just protect your peace, it preserves your youth. Confidence also allows you to care for yourself without guilt. You prioritize rest. You eat well not to impress others, but to nourish your body. You hydrate because your skin deserves it. You move your body because strength feels good, not because society told you to shrink it. That relationship with yourself, rooted in self-respect, becomes visible, and people notice. They might not be able to name it, but they see it. It's in how you walk, how you laugh, how you show up for yourself without permission. You've trained your mind to be your friend, not your critic. You don't berate yourself for mistakes. You learn from them. You don't shame yourself for aging. You honor it, that self-talk, that internal narrative. It shapes how you carry yourself, and when your inner voice is kind, your outer world becomes softer. The face mirrors the mind. That's why some people age fast. They live in self-judgment, but you've chosen compassion. You've chosen grace. You've chosen strength. You don't just survive, you thrive. You walk into situations asking, what can I give? And not, do they like me? That shift in mindset lifts the invisible weight most people carry. And lifting that weight, that's what makes your spirit look light and your eyes look young. You're not chasing approval. You're living in alignment, and alignment is attractive. It doesn't need filters or facades. You own your story, the highs, the lows, the in-betweens, and owning it has made you free. Free from shame, free from fear, free from hiding. That freedom is visible. It's in your posture, your expression, your calm. You don't need validation to feel valuable. You don't wait for someone to see your worth. You walk in knowing it. That's not arrogance, that's clarity. So when someone looks at you and says, you haven't aged a day, they're seeing more than skin. They're seeing the confidence you carry. They're feeling your energy. They're witnessing the result of years spent becoming who you were always meant to be, and that kind of youthful spirit can't be bottled. It's lived, it's earned, it's worn like armor, and it's beautiful. You protect your peace like a priceless asset because you've learned, sometimes the hard way, that not everything deserves access to your energy. Peace isn't just a luxury anymore. It's a non-negotiable part of your survival. You know what chaos feels like. You know the toll it takes. on your mind, on your body, on your spirit. That's why now you guard your peace with the same ferocity you'd protect anything valuable. Because peace is valuable, it's rare, and when you have it, you don't let it go easily. You don't let just anyone into your world, not because you're cold, but because you're wise. You've seen what happens when you open the door to chaos disguised as charm. You've learned to spot the people who drain you, the situations that exhaust you, and the conversations that go nowhere but down, and instead of diving in, like you might have once done, you now step back. You pause, you protect yourself. That decision, that pause, it keeps you younger than your years, because nothing ages you faster than emotional warfare. You don't feel guilty for saying no anymore. You don't explain your boundaries like apologies. You don't stretch yourself thin to make others comfortable while you break inside. You've replaced people, pleasing with self-respect, and that shift, that sacred return to self, it shows. You look lighter, you move freer, you speak clearer. People sense the difference, even if they can't name it. That's the power of peace. It speaks without words. It glows, it steadies, it protects. You've outgrown chaos. You don't chase it, entertain it, or try to fix it anymore. You don't sit in rooms where you can't be yourself. You don't keep quiet just to avoid tension. You've realized that peace isn't the absence of noise, it's the presence of self-trust. And when you trust yourself, you don't need the world to validate you. That confidence, that inner stillness, is why you look untouched by time. Because emotional storms leave physical traces, and you've refused to live in them. You don't pick every battle. You've realized not everything deserves your reaction. Some things need silence, some people need distance, some problems resolve themselves when you stop feeding them. You've trained yourself to pause before responding, to breathe before reacting, to leave before breaking. Those choices, though quiet, are powerful. They're the reason your face doesn't carry tension lines. They're the reason your energy feels calm, clear, and grounded. You protect your schedule, your space, your soul. You make time for solitude, not out of loneliness, but out of necessity. You understand that silence isn't empty, it's healing, and in that silence, you reconnect with your center, you process, you release. You recharge. That habit alone restores you in ways sleep and skincare never could, because mental clarity, emotional balance, and spiritual calm are youth's secret allies. You've learned that not every invitation deserves a yes. Not every event requires your presence. Not every message needs a reply. The more you've aligned with your inner self, the more selective you've become with your outer world. And in that selectiveness, you've built boundaries that protect your softness, your joy, your light. You've stopped leaking energy. You've stopped running on empty. You've stopped pouring into what never pours back. You no longer feel the need to explain your peace. You don't defend your distance. You don't justify your quiet. People may not understand the choices you make to preserve your well-being, and that's okay. You didn't come here to be understood by everyone. You came here to live fully, freely, and fully awake, and that awareness has made you radiant. You've found beauty in simple things, a calm morning, a deep breath, a walk with no destination. You no longer need the loudness of the world to feel alive. You've discovered that real happiness doesn't come from chaos, it comes from contentment. And contentment makes you glow in a way adrenaline never could. That's why you look younger, not because of creams or diets, but because you've removed the weight of chaos from your life. You've replaced noise with clarity. You've chosen peace over performance, and when you live like that, aligned, aware, and at ease, the years lose their grip. You don't just age well, you age free. You carry yourself with purpose, and it shows in everything you do, from the way you walk into a room to the way you speak, listen, and even sit in stillness. There's intention behind your presence, and that intention radiates. It's not about being perfect, it's about being deliberate. You no longer move through life on autopilot. Every step you take has meaning. Every word you speak carries weight. Every boundary you set is rooted in self-awareness. You've stopped just existing, and you've started showing up, fully, firmly, and fearlessly. When you walk with purpose, people feel it before you even say a word. There's a grounded energy in your stride, a quiet confidence in your eyes, and a calm authority in your voice. You don't have to try to impress anyone. You simply are who you are, and that authenticity commands more respect than forced charm ever could. It's not about being loud, it's about being clear. You've made peace with who you are, and now the world has no choice but to do the same. There's a reason you look younger than your age. It's because you've learned to let go of what doesn't align with your purpose. You no longer waste time on empty conversations, temporary attention, or meaningless distractions. You've stopped chasing approval and started choosing alignment. You know what matters to you, and you move accordingly. That clarity, that sense of direction, it lifts the weight from your shoulders and lightens your expression. It replaces stress with focus and doubt with determination. You carry yourself like someone who has survived storms and learned how to dance in the rain. You don't hide your scars. They've become your strength. You've taken every lesson, every setback, every failure and turned it into fuel. Your resilience is quiet but undeniable. You've faced life head on and emerged with your integrity intact, and now your presence carries that power. It's in your posture, your tone, your gaze. It's not arrogance, it's earned grace. Purpose doesn't mean you have all the answers. It means you're not afraid to ask the right questions. You move through life with curiosity, not confusion. You seek depth, not distraction. You listen more than you speak. You observe before reacting. You no longer live just to get through the day. You live to create moments that matter. That kind of intentional living slows down time. It makes your days feel fuller and your face more at peace. You don't fidget through life. You don't rush without reason. You walk into spaces as if you belong. Because you've realized you do. You don't need permission to be present. You don't ask for validation to stand tall. You've reclaimed your space, your time, your energy. And when you show up, you do so with clarity, with grace, with purpose. That kind of self-possession is rare. And it's magnetic. There's a steadiness in how you move through conflict now. You no longer react just to react. You respond with precision, speak with intention, and walk away without chaos. You understand that not everything deserves a reaction, and not every battle is yours to fight. That wisdom reflects in your peace. Your face no longer holds tension. Your eyes no longer carry confusion. You've traded drama for direction, and in that trade, you've preserved your glow. You've stopped multi-tasking your way through life. You do things fully or not at all. You give your presence like a gift, not an afterthought. Whether you're in a room full of people or sitting alone in silence, you're fully there. That kind of focus is rare in a distracted world, and it keeps you rooted in the now. And when you live in the now, your spirit stays young, your mind stays sharp, your body moves with grace. There's purpose in how you rest, how you work, how you speak to yourself. You no longer run yourself ragged trying to meet someone else's definition of success. You've defined it for yourself. You've chosen values over validation, meaning over motion, and that choice makes all the difference. It's why you don't look tired, even when you're busy. It's why you don't seem stressed, even when you're handling pressure. Purpose gives you a kind of calm that no spa treatment ever could. You walk like someone who knows where they're going, even when the path isn't clear. You trust yourself enough to keep moving forward. You no longer need to be the loudest in the room, because your energy speaks for you. And when people ask how you stay so centered, so calm, so radiant, the answer is simple. You carry yourself with purpose. And that purpose carries you. You nurture your inner world with the kind of care most people reserve only for the external. While others focus on what the world sees, you've turned inward, choosing to cultivate peace, clarity, and strength from the inside out. That inner investment is why you glow. It's why you radiate calm in chaos, why your presence feels like a breath of fresh air, and why, despite the years, you still look untouched by the weight of time. Because when the soul is nourished, the body responds. You've learned that no amount of outer success can make up for inner emptiness. So you pour into your thoughts, your emotional well-being, your sense of purpose. You read books that stretch your mind. You have conversations that feed your spirit. You ask hard questions and sit with uncomfortable answers. That kind of inner work, it doesn't show up immediately. It doesn't come with applause, but over time it reshapes you, softens the rough edges, quiets the unnecessary noise, and grounds you in something deeper than validation. You've stopped outsourcing your joy. It no longer depends on who texts back, who notices your effort, or how many likes you get. You've turned inward for your sense of worth. You've realized that the only voice that needs to believe in you is your own. And now you walk lighter, you speak softer, you smile wider, not because life is perfect, but because you've made peace with imperfection. You protect your mind from the kind of clutter that steals your joy. You're selective with what you consume, what you watch, what you listen to, who you allow to influence you. You treat your thoughts like sacred ground, not a dumping site for fear and noise. That discipline gives you clarity. It sharpens your intuition. It helps you see through distractions and stay connected to what really matters. And that connection, it keeps your spirit young, alive, and fully awake. You've learned the value of stillness. In a world addicted to noise, you've made space for quiet. You sit with yourself. You listen to the whispers beneath the chaos. You've stopped running from solitude and started embracing it as a place of renewal. That solitude isn't loneliness. It's alignment. It's where you recharge. It's where your truest thoughts are heard. And from that place, you emerge more whole, more certain, more you. You no longer beat yourself up for every mistake. You've exchanged harsh inner judgment for compassion. You speak to yourself like someone you love, not someone you're trying to fix. That shift has softened your energy. You forgive quicker, you heal deeper, and you grow faster. You've become your own safe space, and when you treat yourself with kindness, your body responds with ease. Stress leaves your skin. Worry releases from your jaw. Peace settles into your breath. You seek meaning in the mundane. You've trained your eyes to notice beauty where others only see routine. A cup of tea in silence, a walk under evening skies, a moment of laughter with someone who sees you. You don't wait for grand events to feel alive. You bring aliveness into the ordinary. That habit creates gratitude, and gratitude creates joy, and joy, it's ageless. It lifts your energy, brightens your eyes, and lights up every room you enter. You've chosen healing over hiding. Instead of pretending you're fine, you've leaned into what hurts and allowed yourself to mend. That inner resilience is your foundation now. Life doesn't shake you the way it used to. You bend, but you don't break. You've built a core that isn't swayed by chaos. That kind of emotional strength doesn't shout, it steadies. It's why your presence feels calm even when the world is loud. You no longer fill your calendar just to feel accomplished. You value alignment over busyness. You make space for the things that restore you, whether that's journaling, meditation, art, or just sitting still and breathing. You've stopped chasing constant productivity and started prioritizing your well-being, and that choice has given you back your glow. The truth is, when you nurture your inner world, it shows in the way you walk into a room, in the way you respond instead of react, in the way you hold eye contact, not out of control, but out of connection. You become someone who feels safe, not just to others, but to yourself, and safety breeds peace. Peace breeds beauty, and beauty, real, lasting beauty, starts from within. You smile with your whole soul, and that changes everything. It's not just a curve on your lips. It's a reflection of your inner light, your emotional freedom, and your unapologetic joy. When you smile, it's real. It's not forced, not polished for perfection, not performed for approval. It rises from something deeper, something rooted in truth, and that kind of smile, it softens every room, disarms every wall, and makes time pause for just a second. It's the kind of smile that leaves people wondering, how do they carry so much light? You've discovered that joy isn't found in perfect circumstances. It's found in presence. You don't wait for life to be flawless to feel happiness. You've learned to smile even in the midst of the storm, not because the pain didn't happen, but because you chose not to live in it forever. That decision, that quiet defiance in the face of difficulty, gives your smile its power. It's not the smile of someone who's never fallen. It's the smile of someone who's learned how to rise. There's no pretending in your expression. You don't wear a smile to cover emptiness. You wear it because you've done the work. You've dug deep, you've cried, you've healed, you've grown, and what remains is peace. A kind of peace that dances across your face and lights up your features. That's why people say you look younger than your age. It's not just your skin, it's your spirit. Your soul hasn't been hardened by bitterness. It's remained soft, vibrant, alive. You smile from the eyes, the place where truth lives, and when you do, it tells a story. A story of endurance, of grace, of someone who didn't give up on themselves. Your eyes don't hide behind walls anymore. They shine with presence. They meet people without fear. They reflect kindness, openness, and understanding. That's what makes your smile unforgettable. It connects. It speaks before your voice ever does. You've mastered the art of joy and stillness. You don't need grand moments to feel alive, a morning sunbeam, a favorite song, a quiet moment with someone you love. These simple things make you smile, not because they're flashy, but because they're real. You've stopped chasing happiness in loud places and found it in the heartbeat of ordinary life. That choice, that ability to find wonder in the everyday, that's what keeps you glowing. You've freed yourself from the pressure to perform. You don't smile to be liked. You smile because you're free. You've unshackled yourself from the weight of pretending, and when the weight came off, your light came through. You've let go of needing to be understood by everyone, and in that letting go, you've discovered peace. That peace has softened your expression, relaxed your body, and made your energy magnetic. You've stopped carrying guilt for being happy. You no longer dim your light to make others comfortable. You've realized that your joy doesn't steal from anyone, it inspires. You're not afraid to be seen smiling in a world that feels heavy, because your smile is your rebellion. It's your quiet reminder to yourself and others that hope still lives, beauty still exists, and love still wins. There's a kindness behind your smile, a gentle strength. It doesn't demand attention, yet it draws it. It doesn't need to speak, yet it's heard. It doesn't seek to dominate. It offers safety. And in a world where so many wear their stress, your softness stands out. It becomes your signature, it becomes your shield, and in many ways, it becomes your gift to the world. You've reached a place where your joy isn't conditional, it's internal, rooted, real. You smile because you've chosen not to live in fear. You smile because you've decided to love yourself fully. You smile because your heart is finally in harmony with your mind. That alignment gives you radiance that no product or filter can ever replicate. And it's not about always being happy. You still feel the weight of life. You still have hard days, but even in the heaviness, your smile knows how to return, because it's not just an emotion, it's a practice. It's a decision. It's a reflection of resilience, of gratitude, of someone who chooses to see light even when the world feels dark. And when your smile rises soul, first, it lifts more than just your own spirit. It becomes a light for others, too. You stay curious, not cynical, and that single choice sets you apart in a world that often leans into bitterness. It would be easy to let life harden you, to let disappointment turn into distrust and lessons turn into walls. But you've chosen differently. You've chosen to remain open. You've chosen to keep learning, keep wondering, keep reaching beyond what's comfortable or familiar. That mindset keeps you not only young at heart, but ageless in spirit. Because curiosity is a kind of emotional vitality. It keeps your eyes bright, your heart soft, and your soul awake. Where others retreat into judgment, you lean into understanding. Instead of assuming you already know how things will turn out, you ask questions. You explore, you engage, you listen. Not to react, but to learn. That openness is rare, and it's powerful. It keeps your world wide instead of small, and your mind expansive instead of rigid. That flexibility isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's what makes you adaptive, resilient, and alive. You don't carry the weight of always needing to be right. You carry the desire to grow, and in that humility, you find freedom. You're not afraid to say, I don't know. You're not ashamed to shift your opinion when new insight appears. That takes strength, that takes integrity, and it allows you to evolve while others stay stuck in certainty. It's why you continue to expand instead of shrink. It's why your energy feels fresh, never jaded. Curiosity keeps your spirit light. Cynicism, on the other hand, is heavy. It drags, it drains, it deflates. You've seen what it does to people, how it etches itself into their expressions, how it dims their joy, how it ages them from the inside out. And you've made a conscious decision not to carry that weight. You've refused to let the hard parts of life rob you of wonder. You've chosen to meet life with eyes wide open, not half, shut in defense. Your curiosity allows you to connect with people, with places, with experiences that might otherwise pass you by. You ask, what can I learn from this? Rather than what's the point? That shift changes everything. It invites growth where there might have been resistance. It creates possibility where others only see problems, and that kind of mental freedom, it shows, It reflects in the way you speak, the way you move, the way you glow. You look at people through the lens of compassion, not conclusion. You don't write them off with a single label. You understand that everyone is a story, not a summary. That belief makes you a better listener, a deeper thinker, and a kinder human. And when you carry that kind of understanding, your presence becomes a comfort, not a challenge. You become someone others feel safe around, because you don't judge what you don't understand. You explore it. You also stay curious about yourself. You don't believe you've reached your final form. You continue to peel back layers, ask deeper questions, examine your patterns, and explore new sides of who you are. You don't fear change, you welcome it. You know that the person you're becoming is just as important as the person you've been. That kind of self-exploration keeps you rooted in growth. It keeps you alive with purpose, not just routine. Even in difficult moments, you ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Instead of, why is this happening to me? That small shift from victimhood to curiosity gives you power. It gives you presence. It lets you see beyond the moment into the meaning, and that kind of insight, it not only saves you from bitterness, it saves your light. You see beauty where others see boredom. You notice details, feel textures, hear subtleties that others overlook. Because curiosity sharpens your senses, it deepens your appreciation. It makes the world richer, fuller, more vibrant, and that vibrancy reflects right back in your energy, in your smile, in your voice. In the way people feel after talking to you. You've chosen the path of openness over offense, growth over guarding, wonder over weariness, and it shows, not just in how you speak or think, but in how you look. There's a spark in your eyes that cynicism can never replicate, a gentleness in your presence that only curiosity can create. You haven't let life close you. You've stayed open, curious, evolving. And in doing so, you've kept your soul radiant, your energy youthful, and your heart beautifully alive.